Much love and light to you. I feel like this is, yeah, I don't want all this light. We gonna fix that. All right, there we go. It was blinding me. Um, so I have a pickle pal message tonight, you guys, and I got on here a little bit later than I planned for. Not that you guys are aware of that, right? Like, why am I even outing myself on that? But I feel like there's definitely at least one person um, that maybe was waiting for the clock to strike a certain hour. And my bad. Okay, so it was definitely a long day. You guys, thank you for those that did show up and show out at the event, the grand opening for Studio M. Designs in Kingston, Pennsylvania. And again, for anyone still wondering, where the heck was that? It's 697 West Market Street, okay? And so your girl has bits and pieces of bubbles and bling and things, all right, that are selling out of there, okay? And they're often one of a kind, all right? It's very rare that I make multiples or duplicates. And even for things that maybe I even intend to duplicate from one move to the next, not necessarily the same execution or the same because of the materials that I'm working with. Semi precious gemstones comes to mind. Okay, can't necessarily control the shape or the color, etc. All right, natural and healing things, you guys. Love and light, country love. Much love and light, babe. So we also have some more things in store over there. So you definitely want to stay tuned. Check out the Studio M Designs social media. They too are on, I'm not sure about YouTube, but definitely Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and the like. All right, love and light, Mary, and I met a lot of beautiful people coming through that store. And I just, it was so moving that I did remark to the shop owner, Miss Tiffany, about the caliber and quality of the individuals that just are being, it's alignment. I get it. I'm not, you know, it's still neat to see and experience and just it's really great when we have these spaces. Like, this is why the community that we have going is very important. All right, it's healing, really, when you dumb it down, when you can get with other like-minded individuals, and they share in the same sentiment and the same morals, values, etc., and are looking to just beautify their own path as well as others along the way, as alignment allows for. Okay, it's really a beautiful thing. So, for those that are local, all right, I know I'm talking about the state of Pennsylvania, Kingston, all right, the city to be exact. And not everyone can necessarily get there. We're not currently shipping out. If that would change, I will definitely let you guys know. And as far as those wondering still about Etsy, still um, meditating on that one because of kind of sort of recent changes that they have chosen to do. And I still have not really had a ton of time to, gosh, if y'all only knew half of the things that I do in any one day or night or moment, okay? Not that it's a contest, but I almost feel like, shoot, should I explain that? Because I know there's question about, like, well, when the hell is Etsy going to be a thing? Exactly, right? And energy is fluid, right? So about the time you start getting to, oh, okay, yeah, I'm definitely going to execute that aspect of change, something else happens, right? And you just got to go with the flow of things. So that's what your girl's been up to. How about you, right? Same deal. I get it. I say it tongue in cheek, all right? We're all in this together, and that's why, again, I love this space as well. Okay, I know it's remote and everything, but it still matters because we come on here and we get to actually discuss maybe some of the heavy hitting subjects with tones and undertones that allow us to get through it instead of just being triggered, right? Instead of just getting all depressed and panties boxers bunch, like, what now, end of story, none of that. All right, because we're going with the flow. We know that going with the flow means that we're in it to win it because we already have won. We already are a success. We already are somebody, right? And friendly reminder, you guys, in current energies right now, especially, It's really important to stay built up in who you know yourselves to be, right? And hey, make the Delulu work for you if you got it, as long as it's working for you and not against the very things that you came to do and experience and become, really. Okay. So I do have a pick up pal message, but because of the hour, again, I got on here a little bit later. And I understand, though it's Saturday night, right? Not everybody's necessarily live with it or, going to be up for an hour or so, right? So I will go ahead and ring the bell. It's a new bell, you guys. All right. So it's going to sound a little bit different, but I found it to be one of the less harsh of the variety that I had access to when shopping for said bell. So again, going with the flow, making room for change and allowing change to be just that, change, which is what? Inevitable, part of the process, part of the plan, even divine blueprint type of things, right? Right. So it doesn't have to automatically equate to punishment, right? Oh, friendly reminder. Right. It doesn't have to automatically seem like or feel like, though challenging, perhaps I'll give you that, punishment, because we're not here for that. How are we going to be in new earth consciousness talking about, oh, all my life I'll just have to struggle, right? Even referable to those manifestations. And I was talking to a beautiful soul earlier today at the shop regarding just this same sentiment. Watch that you're not toiling and laboring needlessly, even for those open, woke minded individuals that know about manifestation. Are you manifesting in the most highest vibrational outcome for you in the moment? Same deal with those affirmations, you guys, right? Are you affirming you're always going to maybe someday, somehow have, be, do? Because man, that sounds like, how many years did you want to wait there? Like nobody wants to sit down at the computer and watch the thing buffer, beyond a few seconds. Like literally never. We never want to see that. And yet, some people's affirmations, though well intentioned, are just doing just that with their own energy. Dare I say, their lives and livelihood. Okay, so you really want to be mindful, like, what am I saying and what's the intention? Is it understood? Okay, by self deep enough to make sure that you understand that you are co-creating with the universe, okay, in the ways that you intend to. It's very important. I mean, where would you go if you didn't know how to get there? And I know we just talked about the flow state, yes, but you're also here as co-creator, so you should know some of what you are and where you go and who you're with and why, right? Maybe what you eat and what you wear when going to certain place. Fill in the blanks and make it make sense for you, you guys. Okay, but get specific where it makes sense to. Okay, while again, and it's a bit of a dance, I get it, while again simultaneously being open to be in that flow state to receive things, okay, that maybe you didn't bargain to receive, okay, and to also understand that even if and when things like that happen, it's not to be equated down to some form of punishment, all right? There are different reasons why certain aspect of the collective may be struggling through just literally retraining your brain about some of these things, and religious trauma comes to mind. Okay, something is templated into you, like you are bad if you are these things, right? Now is the time to really know yourself. Okay, many people have been quoted as saying something to the effect of, know thyself, know thy God. All right, it's really important to know yourself, okay, as well as to have your own walk, your own connection, whatever that may mean, however that may look, okay, to your higher guidance, okay, to your universal energy, your God, your goddess, okay. Really get specific and really get tapped in, focus, all right. The way that you would knowing, oh, I've got to make that doctor's appointment, perhaps, some of you, Okay. Others, the way you know, oh, I better yoga my ass all the way out because if not, by the end of the week, I maybe can't use it kind of thing. It's serious like that, you guys. Okay. Well, that is what's coming through the channeling to remind you collectively. All right. Now let's see who is in the queue. Love and Light, you guys. Love and Light Country again, as well as Love and Light Mary. I want to see who else is in here. Love and Light Yasa. All right. Okay, so let's see about Mr. S. Okay, transporting. Okay. Oh, I'm sure that will be. Where is. Oh, hold on. Let me find the deck. Okay, yeah. Let's see here. And we got an Empress coming out as a yes here, Country Love, about Mr. S, right? I just got the sentiment of like, be much obliged, man. Like, but the Ten of Cups also wanted to come out of the deck, and I really get that this is saying, hey, don't worry. Like it's one thing to ask, hey, will so and so do fill in the blank, right? And then maybe simultaneously you're wondering, should it be so and so that does it, kind of thing, and it ends well. And gosh, if this ain't enough, I mean, you need this one too. I mean, it's pretty good stuff there. You mind sharing? No, let me stop, Country Love. But that's what I got for you, babe. Okay, Yasa. Passing your master project this year. Well, first question is, do you believe you could, Yasa? Right? Because what if the cards say, oh, yeah, you got that ace in the bag, ace in the hole, right? And you go, okay, thank you, I received the message. But deep down, you go, I don't know, man, because it's me and I'd have to be the one to pass it, right? Just saying, okay? And it's funny because I really look down and I see a complete pictorial depiction of how you're supported. You've already been the success walking, right? Divine understands this. You're a little not so confident. And again, here it gets a little worse, a little not so confident. And the whole time it's giving, yes, Yasa, you are not only able, but you do pass. But again, the most important question goes back to you, babe. Do you believe? Like, see how important it is, you guys? Not picking on you, Yasa. Thank you for being here so we could talk about things like this because we all got something that we could, equate to ourselves. And whether we're in current energies facing that type of energy or coursework, I like to say, because, if you're here, you're learning, babe, right? And by here, I mean walking the earth, okay? Not just on the channel, right? But thank you for being here, you guys. It really doesn't work so well without you. It's definitely not as much fun. I mean, I'm very much capable of having fun by myself, right? But it's definitely not nearly as much fun when I'm having it with you all. So thank you. And you are very welcome. I'm excited too, Country Love, because you know what? I hope you share some pictures of what you're growing out, in that thing. And it would be nice to see some action in the community about the community. Just saying, because I know what pictures of me look like, y'all. You know what I mean? And now so do you, right? But okay, so share, you guys, please and thank you. All right, don't make it seem like pulling me to share. I feel like I want to ask y'all even more to share, but at the same time, I don't want it to come across as like I'm trying to strong arm you into being some inauthentic form of self. But all I'm saying is, I'm pretty sure y'all already have pictures and memes in your phone anyhow, right? For varying reasons, right? Some of them they're funny, others are, inspiring. Others you look good, you felt good and wanted the pictorial evidence as you should. Could you share, please? And thank you, because I have been doing my part, y'all. And we are in this together, right? So I'm excited to see, let's see, we got Country Love with the greenhouse, the greenhousery, the greenhouse effect, right? And whoever else got whatever else going on, okay? Because y'all can't come for me because I've been sharing, okay? I've been loving and lighting. All right, so the reciprocity. Ooh, I'm excited for. Just saying, you guys. Love and Light Hard Rock 380. Love and Light Sophie. Oh my goodness. Y'all got me sharing, showing, and telling, doing puppet shows. And I'm over here like, can I see what you got? Community. Like, even the crickets are echoing. Like, damn. Just saying, y'all. Just saying. I'll just be noticing some stuff. Don't mind me. I'm looking like this because I'm like, what the hell? There's like a whole... Let me shuffle this deck again because this was already kind of sus, and I thought I handled it. But I just looked down and saw a whole chunk misconstrued, and you're like, no, we can't. We can't. We gotta have clarity. So we just want to set this straight real quick. Because energy, man. Right now, nobody should be faking the funk on anything. If you see a red flag, don't act like, no, I didn't. Yes, you did. Even if it was you waving it, okay, please own up to it and fix it, turn it around, right? Because there's no telling. I'm hearing to say it like this, and I'm not gonna lie, I don't even know exactly what all I mean when I say this, but I'm hearing to say because there is no telling the consequences. Not in the sense of like, oh, y'all are just on the ass end of karma right now. You better grin and bear it. No. But in the sense of, hey, maybe since we're talking about that, somebody is, maybe a lot of somebodies, and maybe they know you, and they know you ain't in that type of timeline, as it were. ... Speaking in code a little bit, all right, obviously, those that know, right, you get it. There are some newbies here, okay, live stream. I'm very protective over my collective, all right? And also, you know, in normal course, you need balance, right? So I can't give it all away. Gosh, how would you take it and implement it anyhow? When there's levels of this, you need to catch it little by little, perhaps, right? There's levels of this, and I'm really going into the channeling referable from one pile to the next to allow for us to understand that even though this feels really specific and really personal at times, okay, maybe not every pile and maybe not every live stream, be mindful that it is always still a general collective as well as timeless message. And so what that means is, you know, sometimes you could receive a message and it's like, you know what, this does not resonate. You know, definitely we're not trying to fit square pegs into round holes and vice versa. So to be clear, good on you on that. But be mindful. Sometimes you can receive a word and a word of advice, etc., etc. And next thing you know, 3 months down the line, perhaps, I'm not here word cursing or prophesying. I'm just saying this knowledge, the channeling, all right, the intel, the experience of some of these sessions, and I like to put the air quotes storylines because this is somebody's something, right? Even if it doesn't resonate for you, it doesn't mean under the sun there's no one, right? To be clear. So, you know, take that little advice with a grain of salt if you must. But I'm just saying, get what you can out of these sessions, you guys, even if they don't resonate, all right? And also laugh a lot more. So there's laughter's medicine, you guys. I hope you're feeling quite all right. I had a really long day, you guys, and a little squirrely because of it. I'm not gonna lie, I almost didn't come on because I was like, I really wish that I had a little bit more oomph and gusto. But you know what? One thing I know about the channeling as well, often your guides are passionate, so here we go. No, let me stop. But I'm not wearing a flamenco hat that I'm aware of. This is from Hot Topic, so I'm not sure. I figure it's probably like more goth steampunk aesthetic, but I could be wrong. But it definitely was not a flamenco hat. And now it could be fashioned after that initially. But yeah, I don't know. I just threw it on because I really wanted to wear my oversized hoodie, but what's not oversized is the damn hood. So weird, right? But again, long day, a little bit chilled. The weather was really fighting against the grain today as far as like sunshine vibes, with the wind and damn near hail and things. And you guys, I got so chilled, I wasn't planning on it, but I actually did go into the gym just so I could hit up the saunas and stuff and like stretch out a bit. Oh man, which did not help my energy level because I was like crawling out of the car before I could even get back up the steps to get to my humble abode. So don't mind me. But you know, I'm still nonetheless grateful to be here, and I'm hoping you are sharing in that sentiment because you guys, this is Saturday night, right? And I like to have fun on the weekends, especially because the weeks, I don't know about you guys, but they lately have just been seemingly so long spilling into the weekend. And I don't know about you, but I definitely have been taking notes that I need to focus on a lot more fun. So let's make this session fun. You guys, if you don't yet know the live stream rules to get your free yes no tarot question during tonight's live stream, please check that description box below this video and or any video on this particular channel and scroll down. Okay, it's not going to be right there because I got a lot to share. I'm not ashamed of that, right? You know, the sharing's caring, right? But scroll, you guys, for the live stream rules. Quite unfortunately, I cannot pop them into the chat. Oh, we have Fiona. Okay, Fiona, I didn't see you come in, babe. Love and light, babe. I saw Sophie, and I did not see you come in, babe. Sorry. So Fiona is our moderator, and you guys, also, before I get into this too deep, heads up because I've been meeting people in not even just the spiritual streets, but the physical streets with some beautiful souls. And I've been telling them how amazing the collective is and how you guys are, on here making friends as you should, friends and family, as it were. And so just be mindful that there may be some newbies coming on that, may be a little shy at first, but I really appreciate you welcoming them into the fold because you know how it feels when you realize you have entered into a safe space. And so I just appreciate those that actually will be, not, of course, I don't really have to remind you guys too hard to be like tolerant, right? Obviously, but inclusive and open. All right. I do consider you guys like friends and family, okay? And I like to hope that you guys share in that sentiment as well. And same deal for, maybe the people that have yet to actually drop into the chat box yet. When they come, remember that, okay? Because it's nice to have what we do have here, and I don't mind sharing it. All right, and that's why I ask you guys, please and thank you, hit the like. All right, thank you for actually chatting in the chat box. Thank you for sharing the videos. Thank you for telling people who maybe have need of some of these free messages. Like, it's not even about the money, it's about the mission, if that makes sense, okay? And we're doing this together. That's why, again, there's no soapbox. I have no microphone. It's not about me. I would like way more than just my freaking pictures in the community page, so it doesn't look like I've got an issue of sorts, right? Like, well, what is she on, right? You guys share too, all right? Let me know what you're doing. Let me know where you're doing it, perhaps, all right? Within reason, I get that, but you guys could definitely, let me in a little bit more. Like, I done read your cards. I know what you did last summer. No, let me stop. Oh my gosh, and I look down and there's this card. It's summer. Not gonna lie, you guys, from one pile to the next, I just kind of was like, oh, these are the cards. Okay, and go. And it is not in the traditional way. Not that I ever read traditionally, ever, a day in my life. But this is some new shit. I want to say it like that. The style, the way the cards are, what they're saying and talking about. So this is going to be a little bit of a ride for me. Again, where I was like, ooh, should I come on? But we're going to do this. I'm starting to feel it. I'm starting to feel the energy kick up. So thank you. We are awesome. Run tell that. Yes. Yes. And okay, thank you. That's what I was saying. Exactly. So I hope every one of y'all on this, I almost said call. I'm used to being on Zoom, guys. If that slips out, that's why. But everyone on this live stream, you better be smiling with me, all right, about yourselves. That's how amazing you are, all right? So let's have some fun. I want to get into this. Pile number one, all right? Pile number one, here's the general sitch, okay? For some of you, because still general collective message, right? You are at the very beginning stages of this going, what the fuck is going on? It's getting Dark Night of the Soul energy. It's damn sure giving Ascension, if not the Dark Knight, okay? Heath Ledger could be of some significance, okay? I don't know why we went from Dark Knight to Joker vibes. I feel like if you had to clarify the Joker as a Dark Knight, that gets a pass. I feel like that tracks. Like the Dark Knight. I don't know. It's either maybe, maybe not though, because maybe low key Batman. What do you guys think? Let me stop. All right. Anywho, um, so current energies for some here connecting to pile number one could be things like not trying to word curse, and please do not manifest this for you. Depression, right? You know, feeling frustrated, you know, maybe even you got a little bit under the weather, and not saying that that's necessarily your fault, but oftentimes the body is speaking if and when it is shouting and screaming about things in certain areas, etc., as well, right? It's not always just an environmental response, you know, in the back end of some sort of synapse, right? It can often be part and parcel of, you know, you being outside of some form of balance, whether mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, all of those things perhaps as well. Gosh, your body really screamed then, I'm pretty sure. Ask me how I know. Okay, no judgment, only love and light, but I've been there, and until I know about that life, okay? And this is why I get so passionate when I talk to you guys about the way that you can make different choices so you don't have to learn every blessed lesson the hardest and harshest and longest of ways, right? Right. Because you guys, once you know better, you can live better. And same deal with love. Like once you love you better, ooh, you know what I'm saying? So there's that, okay? And whoever I'm speaking to, you're well underway, whether you are aware of this in current energies or not, to understand all of that. And that is so beautiful. Inside and out about you, as well as for you. And you'll see, all right. I'm not necessarily getting an energy of impatience here. It's almost scarier than that, kind of. No, you know, no judgment, but it's almost like somebody has been starting to become sullen. Sullen meaning like oh my god, there's this. Do I have to tell that? Okay, hold on. That's crazy. Let me look it up because this song, the background track is messing me up. Hold on one second because I cannot. Okay, it's Fiona Apple. So there is this song, Sullen Girl. I don't want to say this, but long story short, I used to eat, drink, breathe, hell, smoke that whole song in day and night, night and day. Felt it. Put my soul on the microphone singing it. Okay. And it's not the best of songs. It's definitely not the highest It's a beautiful song. I'm not coming for Fiona or Apple, okay, about this, as well as Selling or Girl on that. All right. Now, 1996 could be a year of some significance. Doesn't have to be. But for those that know that song, and for those that don't know and you go looking for it, please protect yourself. Don't fall prey into it. I'm not saying it's a trap. I'm not calling it anything other than a song, to be clear. It's just if and when you should resonate with that type of, not to be rude, but brokenness. I can say it because I climbed out of it. Okay, just saying, right? But brokenness, okay. Not necessarily saying it's 1,010% a choice in the matter at the time at brokenness, but at some point you have to pull yourself up by the bootstraps and say, well, hold on now, because how long are we staying here for this ride, right? But this is the sentiment. I hate that for you, right? But I'm still smiling because, like, I know what the cards say, and it gets really, really great. Okay, for those that aren't there yet, okay, um, it gets great to the point where, you essentially understand that, hey, um, I keep being met with these type of people, and it's not even, I'm not getting pile number one is really about love, lover, romantic type of stuff. Pile number two got a little bit of that in there, a little something something. Okay, so for those looking for something connected to that, you might want to stick around for pile number two. But really quickly, this could be um a feminine energy. There could be some significance to Los Angeles as well. As gosh, I don't know if I should say being a journalist or some form of media. It's not podcaster. Like a write, some form of writer. All right. Anyways, let me get out of that. Long story short, pile number one, you are well underway at mastering a form of spiritual lesson. There's more than one, right? And, you know, maybe you're going through more than one, right? I get that, especially those that are understanding that they are being initiated in a certain way, and that there could be many different ways to be initiated spiritually. I'm not going to go through all of that, okay? At this time because I'm not being guided to. But long story short, you realize like, okay, so if there's a pattern, there is a lesson. If there is, you know, a repeat, okay, I'm being treated this way by, you know, certain people. Oh, I keep finding a job where the work environment is, you know, or that relationship game, right? It's like, oh my gosh, like Johnny acted the same way Bobby acted. And then I thought Michael was going to be different. And Michael, just basically, Michael and Eric are, you know, it's like, oh, now they're just growing and spreading and they're just, you know, becoming, they're melding into one big opposition for you. And it's like, well, when will you actually start to do some of this other work that kind of eats through some of the aspect of that kind of timeline or that kind of experience while living life? Because, again, like we said moments ago, if you are loving yourself a lot more, right, chances are you're going to have less experience on the back end of you loving yourself a lot more with Johnny's and Eric's and Michael's of the world of the old timelines, all right? Because the newer version of you that's built up in self love and understanding that, you know, hey, maybe you might get lonely, you're never alone, you know, kind of, you put in the work, you poured into yourself. All right, some of you, you know, you're like your girl, like you literally put oils on your skin and you rub, right? Like you know, you, the way that like I'm hearing to say like an old world nanny, like, um, would make a pasta, you know, just pasta visual, pasta visual. I don't know how to say it, I'm not Italian. Visual, right, by hand, you know, with such pride and everything. When you start to treat yourself that way, right, it really starts to show, and people just even energetically can see a difference, right? It's not necessarily like, oh, you're blonde now, now you're sexy. No, I mean, you can be blonde and sexy too. That's cool, right? You want to dye your hair a different color. That's cool too. No, but this is more than that. This is like, um, you know how like when someone is just so genuinely passionate, like when I'm on here and I'm like screaming at you guys, you know, like you better fucking get this, you better get what you came here for. Like I am rooting for you. No, you're not giving up, right? You know it's from a place of high level of authenticity, because it's not just about, oh, my voice changed in octaves and volumes. It's not just about, oh, love's arms and hands are flailing again. It's about the actual like core passion and belief and sentiment just all in one, right? And so this is you now, whether guy, girl, what have you, okay? And yet you're still not where you're going. As I look down to see this elevation, all right? This elevation is giving the ascension. It's giving the dark night, okay? I'm hearing you say in meditation, you could be seeing this color. And so if that's you, you're being asked to continue to work with, it may be more aptly stated, but if not, at least invoke that violet flame energy. And you will want to study, don't just run around invoking shit. Look up what it means if you're not yet familiar with that violet flame energy in the spiritual sense, okay? But that's where somebody's seeing that, okay? And someone may be having this awareness or coming into this awareness that they are actually, to own up to high priestess energy. Again, you are doing the work. I'm tapping into someone who is really intentionally step in those steps, all right, walking the walk of that of the spiritual hermit, all right. um, there could be some significance to a holiday. You could just be feeling like you need a break just the same. And there could be some significance to children. You could actually have a purpose that is connecting to children, irregardless of the age range or ranges. But this could also be more in these general collectives. It's like, okay, it can be 1,030 things, right? So for some of you, it's literally like children, holiday, vacation. These are the desires of your heart. They're coming in, all right? And again, because you do have these rewards coming, I'm looking at this lover's card, energy to be clear, and general textbook shit. It's like, oh, lovers, romantic, blah blah blah, but that's not that for you this time around. And I'm not word cursing you and saying, oh no, you get everything but love. Many of you have love right now, right? You're not necessarily single. I don't believe that came through the channeling even, but I digress. This is talking about the communication that the lover's card energy can bring. And what I find so fascinatingly beautiful, pile number one, is the collective, resonating. Gosh, I'd like to go out on a limb and say it's all of us, right? But again, we are growing, and there will always be the general sentiment, at least that it should be understood somewhere. There's levels to this, all right? Somewhere different from one to the next of us, okay? And that's okay too. So that's why we talk about all aspects of it. And I try my best to round it out. Forgive me for whenever it may be inartful. But long story short, you've been doing the work to, again, work on your level of assertiveness, work on your level of confidence. And again, please don't think that there's some sort of like power pressure on you to be like all healed up to the point where there's this, expectation supposedly that one day you're going to be like 1,010% healed and still walking the earth and still in this incarnation. Just saying, don't box yourself in, baby. Not saying it can't happen, but the expectation shouldn't necessarily be at the forefront, dangling off the cart like a carrot. Okay, just saying. All right. Um, and again, this exercise came through. Now, here's what I'm getting back to this dark night of the soul. Well, we're talking chakras nonetheless, too. Because ain't no way you're talking Kundalini energy, referable to that dark night of the soul, right? And, we're not talking chakras. It's got to move through there, and it can be a bit of a process, especially if you do have blockages, especially if you have been sick in body in certain ways. It's all connected, you guys, right? And so this is why we often kind of like hit a hard pause and say, okay, something like Rome wasn't built in a day, right? You were right where you're supposed to be for such a time as this. Fill in something else that allows for you to just kind of not lose your shit so much about the fact that maybe you're not where you're going, right? But guess what? You're not where you were. You're not in that same crab bucket, crab barrel mentality. And that's what I love most, that I can report off of what I do see in the cards referable to pile number one. All right. Um, Now, I did pull for you some other cards, and they have some beautiful words like Zen, okay? And guess what? When you dumb this down, this is really the epitome of your birthright package, okay? Um, I want to say like, who am I, Oprah Winfrey? Like, no, I'm not. But you get a packet, you get a Zen, you get a Zen. All right, everybody here, all right, has a birthright that they are to energetically at least be operating out of, okay? And it at least dumbs down to peace, freedom, choice, okay? And I got some other words: delight, comfort, and warm glow. Yes, you do. Yes, you will. Yes, you are. Okay? Zen. On the other side of doing this work, okay, and you stand up a little taller, you smile a little larger, your eyes glint a little more brightly, okay? You're having a glow up, baby. I just talked about how, like, once you start kind of getting steeped into it, everyone's going to notice because it's an energy thing. It's not even about, oh, the shade of your hair, right? Or your shade of gray, right? Just saying, right? Whether you're talking gray hair or in that red room energy or not, all right, you guys? Comfort and delight and zen, I'll take it if you don't. All right. Not that it's a contest because it's all being afforded unto us collectively. Hello, still general collective message. Take this. This part resonates. Okay, let me help you out. This resonates so damn hard. It's amazing. Right? Right. Okay, right? Okay, just checking. So I asked, the general sentiment of your spiritual guidance team to come through the channeling, referable to how you doing, how you live, okay, while you're learning, growing, healing, and living life, as it were. And I got a couple cards, the first of which I am completion. So again, for anyone still trying to be like, okay, I know I'm amazing, but like I'm not exactly sure if I stay amazing. Yes, you are, you do. Act like it. All right. Stop being double-minded about who you are. All right, what you connect back to, which is divinity, greatness. All right, some say God, goddess, universe. All right, cosmos, however. Okay, but you get the general sentiment here. Okay, because ain't no way we're supposed to be in this type of time that goes like, I am so much of a nothing that I am helpless. You can really, honestly, perhaps have to say something to the effect of, I am physically alone, but never spiritually. Okay, I'll give you that. I'm not sitting here saying everybody in your mama's around you and can be and has access spiritually and or otherwise. And that's okay too. Don't get it twisted. All right. There is always the potentiality to fall prey to an illusion or delusion type of energy, right? That's why, again, can't say it enough tonight. So interesting. It's very important for you to be really in the know about who you are, right? Why you do what you do, okay? Because if you don't, it's really a slippery slope at best, and not even the fun kind, right? Like, I'd rather do a slip and slide probably, but not what I'm trying to, again, probably inartfully, because of the late hour, forgive me, get across to you in the way of a point of, take this serious. This is your life, right? It's giving. This is your life. Could you imagine all of a sudden you get that spotlight on you? And you better know who you are. You can't imagine the spotlight comes on you for that old game. I kind of wish I could play that, but then again, it might be extremely triggering. So yeah, it'd be fun to play it out probably for funsies, but not like in reality. I get that, but I digress. And the spotlight comes on you, and maybe a microphone's handed to you from the left, and you don't even know who you are, and they're getting ready to tell you what about your life, and you don't know who you are. Where have we heard of similar happenstances going on like that? And again, I'm telling you, take it serious. I'm speaking in code, and I'm hee hee ha ha, right? But I'm spitting straight facts about some very serious things, okay? I hope somebody got that, okay? Take you seriously enough to start studying. Take you and your life seriously enough to start heeding the call, some of you. You already know you're supposed to be doing Reiki. You already know you're supposed to be finishing that painting, that book. You already know you're supposed to relocate. You already know you're supposed to end that marriage, okay? And I'm not here saying, oh, let's just wreck everybody's homes just for funsies. There is someone, a few someones for different reasons, that caught that confirmation of something that's extremely obvious that they are already aware of. And I know it's straight facts because I want to knock my nose off my face because it's doing that thing again when I speak the truth, okay? So I am authority of reason. I am evaluation, all right? Learning, growing your soul, okay? Mastering, it's giving alchemist. Oh, well, makes sense. The next card coming out here, the way your spiritual guidance team sees you, problem number one. is I am master light. Okay, again, you connect back to divinity. You're being guided to understand with a furthered aspect of awareness. How? Why? Maybe some of you could even figure out when. All right. I am master of free will. Okay, there could be some significance to Earth chart placement here, with that being ultimately the Virgin. Could be some significance to the angelic code 21 you may want to look up, but that reduces down to 3, and for me that's literally divine communication. Okay, so I am master of free will connecting to divine communication. Are you kidding me that you still wonder if you're capable? You still wonder if you're capable. And for some of you, you do. Okay, pawn number 1, you're still in current energies wondering if you're capable at, like, I don't know, making a life, being successful, seeing brighter days, keeping your hope alive, keeping your faith alive. All right, setting out what you very much intentionally intended to do. And please let this serve as confirmation. If the glow up that you've already been experiencing, many of you, for pawn number 1, isn't enough confirmation that you're in alignment, right? Some of you have reversed disease on the strength of making different changes, all right? Dietary or not, environmentally or not. Many of you have done the research, okay? Literally, hold on, I literally have done the research, okay? To intentionally walk a certain walk, experience a certain type of existence, okay? And you're still wondering. Got to work on that mental space, okay? Release and accept. It's coming out for you guys again. I feel like these cards just came out one of the last times that we used this deck, but hey, who am I to mince words and who am I to manipulate the message, okay? But whatever is holding you back needs to be addressed, okay? Because you don't have to have anything or anyone holding you back, including you. All right, maybe that's some old Earth type of mentality, but gone are those days. You have done so much work that you're not even the same person from those days. So how could you operate the same? And sometimes when we dumb it down, you guys, and say, oh yeah, that checks out, that tracks, like that makes sense, then it clicks in a way that maybe it just couldn't in a moon cycle past. I'll give you that. But once it clicks, you guys, all right, you're literally going to be walking not a fine line, not the walk of extreme spiritual hermitage, but you're going to be living out, your fruit-filled, abundant path. Okay, but you got to release, and you got to accept in the ways that it makes sense for you to go with the flow in order to continue to allow for this release to really be a thing in its completed sense. Okay, now again, just so somebody is aware, all right, the expectation here from your spiritual guidance team, your higher self, hell, even source, okay, is not to forget about whatever and what all you had to work through as far as other people's offenses, other people's betrayals of self-sabotaging of self and others, okay? Everything happens for a reason. How do you know, like, you know what, I prefer Tokyo, okay, unless until you go there and then have another place of existence to cross-reference it. Which one do you like? It's like you go to the eye doctor and the eye doctor gives you one lens and says, okay, well, you get this one roundy piece of glass to look through one time. Okay, doc. Oh, well, which one's better? I'm sorry, which one of the what? It was just the one. How would you know which one? You'd have to have another experience. You'd have to have a deepened awareness of the preference. Which one do I prefer? Where do I prefer to be? Okay. And again, this is kind of going back to some of you still needing to kind of like fine tune the clarity on who you are and what that means for you. And I gather, I'm just going out on a limb, you need to know that because there's change that is associated with getting you to be just that person, that version of you, that timeline. Okay, it's very important because many of you are here and rightfully so. I mean, we talked about a birthright package for a reason. Okay, obviously you're on the great side of karma. You're here to get things like abundance of, yes, the spiritual, okay, which trumps monies. I know that. Trust me, I know that. But you're here for the bag too, okay? This could affect the bag if you walk around acting like you don't know any better. If you're not in the full throttle action mode of understanding where you are going in spite of not being there yet, but believing and being so grateful about the success rate of that. All right, that you action it out. You no longer speak against your manifestations. You no longer speak against your body. Oh, maybe your left knee is throbbing right now, and okay, because you've done this work, or you will be knowing in 3-2 now, okay, not to magnify that all the more and exacerbate it. Because you can. You're powerful enough to do it. If we all sat here, dead ass, if we all sat here right now, and I'm not suggesting we should, and we're not going to, I'm just saying, right? But if we all sat here and simultaneously said, left knee hurts, ow, left knee hurts, my left knee hurts, left knee, after 20 minutes, after 20 days, many of us would have a knee symptomatology. And that's why the power of belief and the power of repetition, the law of assumption, very, very important. And you can work them all together. You can mishmash them up and really make a recipe, not even for disaster, but for alchemy, success filled manifestation. Very important, life changing stuff. All right. And again, study to show yourselves approved, you guys. You may be hearing certain terms come through the channeling, out my face, the clown's mouth, as it were. No, let me stop. But, and maybe you're not familiar. Okay, learn. Google. We are definitely in the age of information. And so, really, where there's a will, there's a way. And I think we're talking about this because it feels really um, serious. Okay, it feels like some people really need to. It's like you wouldn't. Like it's like, it would be really shitty if people said, um, hey, we're going to take you probably about like 20 minutes outside of the city, but it's a surprise for, like, let's say your birthday. Just go with it, right? It's just an example. And we're gonna drive you, and you're gonna be safe and fine. It's okay. And you're like, oh man, I really hate driving in the back seat of the car, and I also don't know, I might get sick. Perhaps I might need Dramamine if I actually have to be blindfolded. And you work through all of that, right? They're like, oh, you're gonna be fine, and you get there, you get out of the car, you're still blindfolded. They take the blindfold off, and in the distance you hear like a ship horn. I don't know what you call it, right? And they're like, here's our ship. We're gonna go on a cruise. You always want to go on a cruise, right? Or maybe that this person is a cruiser, loves cruises, right? Either way, it would be really shitty to realize, okay, so y'all did all of that, right? I'm grateful and everything. This is amazing. But nobody thought to afford me the opportunity to have luggage. So I have no toothpaste. I have, no underwears. I have no t-shirts, like, and my brush, right? But what a blessing to be gifted a free cruise. Uh-huh. Right. So it's like the same sentiment too when you're manifesting half-assedly, right? It's like, okay, yeah, no, I know, like, he is 6'4", right. Well, he's kind of an asshole. He's mean to me and stuff, right? And it's like, well, maybe because you were so hell bent on the aesthetic of the person that you manifested, right? Has to look like Jason Momoa, perhaps, right? And da 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 da, and it checks because looks like Momoa, not the same morals, perhaps, and not something that you can even get with. Okay, so there's that, and again, everything happens for a reason, even though it's resonating with that, because you got to learn. How would you learn, oh, I should be more specific in my manifestation and my affirmations until you knew that you should? So, no beating yourselves up here, pound number one, those that resonate with this, because you're right on time, you're doing fine, you're doing amazing, you're not even where you last were. So, I mean, this is really great stuff. You know, I can't say it always feels like really great, especially with the release and, you know, radical acceptance being requested, okay, so that you can get to the bag. But it's giving, it's all worth it. It's giving, you are already at that success rate, okay, that still very much stands for you, just like when we saw back at the Two of Cups versus whatever the hell the other card was, all right? Um, don't be so hard on yourselves here, collective, because I'm just getting that, you know, you are, like, can I show this card? You are glowing up. You are, she's not even naked under here, just looks worse with my finger. I'm just going to keep it down here. But anyways, it's not like, it's not like I'm talking to somebody that goes, wow, I just wish somebody would have noticed some aspect, anything of my accomplishments. I wish somebody would have noticed that, like, I've been trying, and I wish, you know, it's not that, like, I get that you notice and you know that other people have noticed because that's how hard you've been doing the damn thing, but still, you cannot be pedal to the metal like 24/7 and then some. All right, you know, the divine only gives us so many hours of a time slot. I say that tongue in cheek because what's time, anyways, but just go with it. In a day, right? And so that's the reasonable expectation. So it's really unreasonable to try to make that same time slot, whether you want to call it hours or a day, right? 24 hours or not, and make it not good enough, right? What are you teaching yourself there at your core? You're not good enough. You're not worthy to simply allow for the receptivity process to be pleasant for you, because why? All right, and I get it. I know a lot of people, places, and things taught you, many of us, okay, why, right? Because it was to their benefit. Okay, they were using and they were abusing us. Okay, I get that, but we're in charge now, and we love ourselves so much more than moon cycles past, perhaps. Okay, where's the problem? And who's in charge, right? Okay, and who's in charge always connects back to divinity. That's why often you'll hear me say on the channel, as spirit leads. And of course, I'm talking Holy Spirit, right? So, you know, please don't be so hard on yourselves. Pound number one, whether guy, girl, what have you. You could be literally guy, girl, what have you. There's this overarching feminine energy. Okay, you can be, give me all kinds of energy, regardless of the meat suit, okay? Um, and I just want to say, too, your spiritual guidance team kind of outed you here as well, upon number one, because, but please don't get shame filled or attach stigma to it, because it's really just to kind of give you an extra couple shakes of the pom poms. All right, it just should be noted that whom all ever is connected to pound number one, you have done a hell of a job at the shadow work. You are not the same person. You know, maybe some people do resonate with going to some form of rehabilitation, whether over substances, alcohol or not. But this feels like rehab vibes. Like, you know, maybe you're like I say maybe tongue in cheek, your girl, you know, you've been doing some juice cleanses, doing some heavy metal detoxes, and, you know, it doesn't have to be like literally like drugs and alcohol that you should be detoxing from, if that makes sense, because environmentally alone, okay, is can be some stuff, okay? For those that know, all right, you already know what I'm saying. For those that don't know, please study, okay? Ask, you know, pray, meditate, whatever works for you to get some of these answers about what you guys should be literally focusing on, because one person's body standing next to another person's body has nothing to do with the other, in the sense of needing the same things, in the sense of being the same chemical makeup to a T, etc., right? Don't get me started on the DNAs. So, you guys, please know you are capable of anything that you set your mind to. unless and until you're not set your mind to it. And that's kind of going back to that question I asked Yasa. Do you believe? Because, I could believe for you until cows come home. I could talk to the cows, maybe persuade them to believe in you too. And we're just all gathered around the base of the mountain. And then what? You're just still sitting there needing to make the choice to continue to believe in yourself and the situation, or to make the choice to choose a different choice. And you better start believing, okay, because it matters, and it matters in a most serious matter, like for instance, your life, as well as your money, etc., etc. Okay, big stuff. And you are hitting those milestones, okay, and you have. Again, you're not where you're going, but like, does that equate to not doing a damn thing and not being worthy to receive the understanding, let alone the truth of the matter, that you already are the success? Because you gotta wrap your head around that and keep your head in the game. All right, that's what's going to allow for the process to be a lot more easier. And some of you are artists, some of you are diviners, perhaps. Okay, mystics, I'm hearing to say. You do the cards for yourself as well as others, perhaps. Doesn't have to be the case. There is some specific significance to records coming through, as well as music. Okay, so maybe some people connected to pile number one are creators of music, or maybe even creators of records. That's neat. If that's you, please say something and pop a picture into the freaking community board. Uh, Please and thank you. I'd love to see that for sure if that's you. Someone here perhaps is a mother, and irregardless, if not, you're very, very nurturing, and there is some connectability here to children. All right. Um, Last but certainly not least, okay, somebody could be, into yoga, Reiki, healing, healer vibes for sure. All right. Also, healer vibes, obviously, coming off that mystic as well. And somebody here could be a barista, a bartender of sorts. Okay. Take the energy as it resonates, or work at a restaurant. Okay. Um, and there's also, I thought this was pretty neat. I forget the name of the gifting. Somebody was just talking about that too. There's another gifting I want to look up that I cannot remember the name, but it's some form of pseudoscience, they call it, and it's something that I have, and I thought, oh my god, I didn't even know it was like a thing. So I definitely want to, I'm learning too, you guys. That's why I tell you, we're all in this together, right? I'm part of the collective too, but cannot remember what the actual gifting is. It has a name, but you could be one to look into the clouds, as it were, or the stars, the sky in general, and get messages from what you see up there. That's pretty neat. Somebody here could be in a wheelchair as well. I feel like this is someone that I keep picking up on in recent energy. So maybe you are fairly new to the channel. Welcome if that's you. Irregardless, welcome you guys. And someone could have dark features with green eyes, okay, or hazel eyes, like light, dark features, dark skin, light eyes, okay. Someone here could work with pottery, create pottery, and someone could be a cashier of sorts, as well as a content creator. Someone could wear a suit, whether guy, girl, what have you, to work or for events, okay? And tattoos could also be of some significance for pal number one, all right? So that's what I have, okay? The bell is now again ringing, to be clear, God help me. Um, and in the meantime, I'm just going to go ahead while you guys pop your question in, if you're still eligible, to see what chart placements comes out, okay? I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Okay, we're at an hour. I gotta bang out pile number two immediately, you guys. I didn't even want to go this long. But I appreciate you being here, and hopefully you're getting something out of this. We've got Piscean energy coming out so far. Libra, Virgo, double Virgo again, you guys, for pile number one. All right, Pisces, Sagittarius, Leo, Scorpio, Gemini, Oh, double Scorpio and double Aquarius, excuse me. All right, so that's what I have for you for pile number 1, you guys. Much love and light. So pile number 2, we are going to get into, definitely does deal with a lover's situation. All right, for those maybe wondering. Oh, let me not do that. Hold on. All right. These cards were messy tonight. Let's get messy. Pile number 1 felt very esoteric. This is whoever's connected to that. You already know the walk you're on is not for the faint at heart. Understatement. I get that. I get that very personally. All right, let me see here. Oh, thank you so much, Fiona, for your help. Okay. Ooh, for Women Incorporated. Oh, what is my deck doing? Hold on. All right, wait. Let me shuffle here because again, there's like this weird. Am I doing that? That's so weird. I don't even know how I would do that. Let me just shuffle here because what? And then I keep finding these like chunks of cards. And they're in the reverse, and I'm like, dude, I just shuffled though. There shouldn't be, like, when I shuffle, I try to reset the deck usually, you know? All right, here we go. And when I reset the deck, I don't allow for, if I can help it, right? I don't allow for reversals. I mean, reversals, if they happen, I read them, you know, but I don't want to, like, set up the reverse. And then talk about, oh, it's in the reverse. Like, no, it's, you know. All right, let's see here. All right, let's see here, Sophie. Okay. Okay. Right, obviously I know it's connecting to work. Thank you, but hold on, let's see. Okay, so I have triple confirmed. Sophie, what I get is irregardless of whether or not they give you an offer, and by they I mean Women Incorporated, right? It's almost like I want to say it to you like this. Spirit wants you to work somewhere else because you'll have more and more happiness and contentment. When I checked specifically for Women Incorporated, I kept getting maybes. Maybe cards. Like, this was not the first maybe card. I apologize. I put the other maybe back in the deck because I was like, okay, let's just redo this and clarify. But this was your second maybe, right? And in clarification of like what's up with the maybe is like this new beginning. Now intuitively at that point I go, okay, there's another something. Whether you put in another application or not, there's another opportunity out there, whether you're aware of it or not, whether you currently want it or not. And Spirit's like, to be clear, it's more like if Women Incorporated is something that is non-profit and you're not going to get paid for it, okay, then maybe it's not more money elsewhere, but it could be, especially if you already weren't getting paid and somebody else might pay you, you know what I mean? And in clarification, again, just, you know, just to get it done in threes, it's giving, yeah, that's the case. That's the case. So, you know, sometimes we can ask about things and they're not good enough. Well, hell, we've all been there in our love life, I'm sure. No, let me stop. But, you know, it's really important, you guys, can't say it enough, to know your value so you're not accidentally overly grateful for crumbs that the divine are kind of in behind the scenes going, gosh, would you get over it already, because we got so much more coming in for you if you'd only believe to receive it, instead of being overly grateful for something that should have expired, or just should have never got off the ground, kind of thing, whether connecting to love, career, or not. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. You're very welcome, Sophie. And you know what? Ask if you should keep looking, because sometimes opportunities are, I mean, it's kind of unfathomable, I get it, but we really need to get it so that it happens all the more, because we are entering into our soft era. Makes sense, we should understand that, maybe we don't have to look. Maybe we need to pray, meditate, all right, whatever makes sense there for you. Some say pray, some say meditate, and ask questions a little bit differently. Should I look, or should I just be grateful, because what's meant for me can't pass me by anyhow? And I'm telling you, you should ask, to be clear. I'm not trying to be a jerk about it or make you feel like I know something I don't. I'm just saying sometimes it, really just is much more beneficial and allows for you to streamline the process if you check first. Because otherwise, you're toiling and laboring at something that the divine doesn't mean for you to, when it already exists. It's already well underway, coming in for you, and it's a gift, so you wouldn't need to work for it, right? Just like you don't, somebody doesn't go, hey, I bought you this $79 jacket for your birthday, and then goes, so, you can Venmo me or Zelle the $79 right now if you want. And it's like, well, you just said you bought it for me for my, it's a gift for my birthday. It's a birthday gift. What do you mean I gotta pay for it? Right? So don't do that, you guys, with your blessings. It, some of y'all have told God, have told the divine, have told the universe in many ways, not even just one, and very much accidentally, I get it, but still the repercussions, right? That, you want to pay for your blessings, and you want to pay for your gifts, and you want to earn everything that, you feel you're worthy. And the problem with that is you can maybe feel not so worthy, and you can maybe, in spite of feeling worthy, not really have the proper perception, because you are not actually in the full throttle omniscient Godhead, right, as it were, to even understand all levels of um, not only creation but existence, you know. And so that's why we baby step through it, and as we know better, we learn, excuse me, as we know better, we live better. All right, you literally live and learn at this. Okay, so it's okay to not know everything always and in all ways. We're not here for that anyhow, right? If we were, then why, how could we be here to learn and grow our soul if we're here to know everything all the time? Somebody needs to make sense of that one. No pressure though. Exactly, Stillfire Orion. Yes. I love it. I love it. All right, you guys. So, pile number 2, we're going to get into, if I skipped over you and you're still waiting for your freebie, just hang out with me. It'll be fine. And I got you on the back end. All right, there's no problem. Okay. So, let go. Let go. This makes me think of, I have to look it up. Somebody could be from New Jersey, Garden State. This makes me think of the song by Frau Frau. Um, but I don't know the name. Hold on. Oh, yeah. Hold on. I hit the wrong. I hate when I do that. Okay. Oh my god, it's called Let Go. Hello. All right, but yeah. So Frau Frau is the band. So it's like spelled Frou space Frou. I might be mispronouncing it. And it's called Let Go. That could be the general sentiment of some significance. Somebody here could really, maybe we're expected to leave things behind. Maybe you were, um, in recent energies being met with like the understanding that you have to sacrifice. And you know what? If that's you, you ought to learn to get excited when you are. And I know, it's easier said than done. But when it happens enough times in your life, take it from somebody who knows, and you get the um, perks of that 2020 hindsight vision, again, to recognize the pattern. If and when you are being met with sacrificing and making change, whether you feel whether you feel the change is warranted or not, it's understood it should have to happen, right? Like, kind of like the sentiment of like death is necessary, not necessarily in the literal sense, but there is something that must be given or changed or transferred or alchemized in order to allow for the new. And the new is very fruitful. It's giving like pound number one. It's also giving like a recent live stream, yes, but whoever I'm speaking to for pile number two, we really do need to talk about this because current energies are giving all of this and none of it's good. Okay. So emptiness, loneliness, sadness. Okay. And so at this point, you're kind of thinking, all right, what's next? Or maybe some of you are even thinking, what have I done or what more can I do? There's some significance to the energy of summer. So, as we are on this live stream, summer is fast approaching. Even though, if you, interestingly enough, I was talking about this earlier in my evening as well, where it almost seems like I'm on the East Coast in the United States. It almost seems like at any given point, referable to the weather, we are entering springtime or fall time, like almost simultaneously. And it's like, so do we ever have hope of having summer? And maybe there is some synchronicity to that. Um, Whoever I'm speaking to, you're already, not to make light of it and not to talk down on you, but the struggle is the word I want to use. Okay, I'm not fond of that word because I know what it means and I know what that sentiment and energy brings in, and I want to thwart that energy off whatever mission it may have for you, okay? Because it doesn't fit in your path. Not so well, anyways. That's why we're talking about this, okay? And again, by this, the emptiness, the loneliness, and the sadness, all right? This too shall pass, and I literally know that because they made cards about it. So it ends well here, all right? This is not a doom and gloom message, but this is something that you do need to get through in the most checked in sense, right? Not and the reason why I'm saying that is because I do see evidence of like it's like, oh, I had a long day, let me drink, right? I had a long week, or oh my god, so and so, and I like actually had to talk about these things, and you know what, I just need a drink. Something about alcohol specifically coming through for Pal 2, okay? You don't have to out yourself. I don't have any names. I don't need them. All right? I'm just here to deliver the message. No judgment, only love and light anyhow, so there's no problem. All right? But you take heed and get whatever you can out of this message that is for you, okay, if that resonates. So again, some synchronicity, some significance to the energy of summer, being guided to read the card. Everything that you're asking for becomes yours in the summertime. There could be some significance to a daughter of yours for pile number two. Doesn't have to be the case for everyone here, but it's interesting. We just read everything that you're asking for becomes yours in the summertime. And when I look at this daughter card, it says the answer to your question involves your daughter. All right, so some of you, maybe you feel like you are in flight or fight mode, the fight of your life, as it were, over this individual, over this life. Okay, and no judgment. I get it. I, I don't really understand. I've seen it. I've lived through aspects of it as well, in my own, personal history. But I don't really understand the sentiment of, parents who, whether you make a child inside or outside of wedlock or not, whether you make a child intentionally or unintentionally or not be in that child's life, and not be in the child's life to foster it. That's so amazing in the most detrimental sense of the word that I could ever mean for the word amazing, to be clear. And I don't think that, people like that, parents like that, should be glorified ever, because the amount of damage that you can do to somebody's life, just by being their form, version, or measure of authority alone, let alone a parental figure, is alarming, right? And so, maybe you do feel, you're in some form of, whether it's a legal fight or not, um, over, the period of time that now stands versus what is to come. And again, what's to come? Happiness. Okay. What's to come? For someone here, your daughter. Okay. This could be a younger female daughter. It doesn't have to be the case. There is some aspect of nostalgia here. That's also why I say that too. Coming in, as well as the energy of resentment, remorse, coming through. And what I just got intuitively off of that, again, I know I'm reading cards a little differently, and this is the way I was, instructed, and so I'm just delivering the message. Hopefully, this is resonating for someone, okay? Um, but long story short, for those that, can resonate with some, group, organization, family member, or members, friends or frenemies, people, places, and things getting in the way between you and, this connection with your daughter. Um, and you know that it was like a full on attack, it was extremely intentional, it was lies, betrayal, deception. These people are in for it. Okay, remorse and resentment, aren't even going to scratch. I got chills. Aren't even going to scratch the, um, thumbnail surface of the amount of karma, that is most assuredly going to be, or is actively right now for some, being handed down to these individuals. Okay, for what I want to term is the fuck shit, the betrayal, I guess. That led to whatever separation, that led to whatever lies. If this were, to actually, go as far as, the courtroom, take how it resonates here. This is not everybody's pile, and this is not everybody's, um, section of pile number two, to be clear. So that's why I say, again, general collective message. Now, there is some aspect to, a connection here, all right, because Spirit's saying, um, that aside from the daughter aspect, because again, general collective, but some people here, can easily resonate with both the daughter aspect and then this, actual love life sitch, okay, coming in, connecting again with summer, just the same. All right, so take what resonates here, but, some of you, been a little down in the dumps perhaps too, with this depression type of energy, etc. I'm not diagnosing, I'm just trying to cut through it. um and it could be because of the disappointments connecting to your love life. Maybe you feel like you never had one. Maybe you feel like all you've ever known is just subpar, probably par for the course for most of us. I get that, okay? But again, there is some change, and if you know on top of it, that you resonate with this reading because you too have been making changes, okay, intentionally, then of course you're in alignment. Of course, this is the confirmation that, maybe you don't need, but perhaps we're looking for. Makes sense? And, here's the other sentiment behind the remorse and the resentment. When this person comes in to love you the right way, okay, and not just for a night, okay, um, it's going to be undeniable that, you were blessed with that connection, whether you know this person in current energies or not. And you definitely don't have to. I'm not getting that this is like, someone spinning the block because they fumbled you the first three times, kind of thing. It's not giving, okay? But there is real passion here. And this is going to be strong, passion and a large pull, because this is a past life lover. And this is going to, again, be at the center of, whom all ever was connected to the fuck shit, okay? You and this person and the connection and the validity behind the feelings, okay, that real passion, are really, you're going to be met with a lot of envy, all right? But oh well, so what of it? I mean, and, okay, this person is going to feel like home. I'm getting with this nostalgia energy coming out with the happiness. And if the happiness isn't enough, okay, you got bliss. I mean, happiness and bliss, I feel like, can be easily chucked into the same bin there, okay, if we're going to categorize it. But this bliss card states euphoria, satisfaction, cheerfulness. It also states happiness as well as love. This is not a scenario where this lover comes in and it's just the icing on the cake of hot panda trash you've always known it to be, right? This is the healing balm that takes away all the ick from all of the you know, former mayors of Ickville that you've ever known, whether guy, girl, what have you, right? This is the person, this is the connection, this is the timeline, this is the version of you receiving the version of love you've always been worthy and maybe desirous of, right? And again, coming in as a reward. And this is lasting not for a night, okay? This is a formal covenant. Now, Spirit saying stay optimistic, okay? Because again, many of you connecting to pile number 2, you're like, yeah, right, of course, I could just take this with a grain of salt. I don't know anyone. I haven't known anyone in 23 years. Okay, and okay. Okay. So you have free will to tell the universe, not me, universe, it's not mine. I'm never gonna get married. If you want to, I'd advise against it, especially if you don't want to live a lonely timeline like that. Just saying. All right, so stay optimistic. Again, was the call here. Just saying. All right, I didn't make the cards. I'm not here mincing words or manipulating the message. The message is what it is, and you've got your free will. Okay, free will stands. But also codependency coming out here, as well as let go of control issues. You got to be mindful. All right. A couple things can happen. It can be scary to receive the love of your life, right? Because it's like, okay, what do you mean? Like, so nothing's wrong with this? So you don't have 3 toes on the one thumb? Like, oh, you know, so you know, so you see me for who I am and you still didn't walk away, kind of thing, you know. You got to make sure you're doing the work, you guys, for you as well as what you want, okay? Because it's very unfair to expect any individual, especially this one coming your way, all right, to do any more of the work for the connection as well as themselves than you are willing to put in. Make sense? Like, could you imagine if like there was like this strange dynamic, and I'm not saying that there isn't such a thing. Gosh, that they've got TV shows. My Strange Addiction comes to mind, right? Maybe that is some significance. Maybe somebody's watching that in the background now. It doesn't have to be the case. But, you know, one person in the connection, irregardless of, you know, race, sexual orientation, creed, etc., one person is like, okay, so I'm going to actually make sure that I am putting in the work to make sure that, you know, I am healthy, I am stable mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially, and the other person just gets to what, like, basically be the most you know, uncouth slob, very slovenly, puts nothing towards the connect. Haven't we experienced bits and pieces at least of something like that, and knew also, even in the old type of timelines, that shit wasn't working, right? So don't be that one talking about, I didn't realize it wouldn't work, when you know firsthand that shit don't work. So of course all of us are expected to do our part, all right, in being present, in assisting our healing journey, right? Because nobody's coming to save you, all right? Nobody's going. Just like I can believe in you so much, and I do, collective, I really do. I can believe in you. Me and the cows, when they come home, can talk about it, right? But unless and until you kind of get your head in the game too and go, oh yeah, me too. Like, I know, me too. I am success because I exist. You know, I already have one. right? Um, because I already have one, even though I don't wait for my natural eyes to see it or my, natural hands to feel it. Okay, I know to get grateful, right? When you start living through working the spiritual laws and principles in your favor and to your benefit instead of falling prey to them because of some form of ignorance or lack of discipline, then you really start go, aha, and those baby steps start turning into ginormous leaps that other people, heads up, can really be jelly over. Just saying, even if you don't have peanut butter. Okay? Okay? All right. So you got to be grounded in knowing who you are and why you are so intentional in living out your path. Okay? And codependency really is not going to be part and parcel of the dynamic, um, or even inner monologue of the dynamic of any connection that you are going to be afforded and have access to enjoy from this point forward. That's why a lot of those exes can't come back. Okay, it's not even necessarily because you said they can't come back, it's because spiritual laws and principles are at play. You have been doing the work. You have been shifting, altering timelines. Some of you have been quantum leaping. Okay. It's very esoteric and woo woo tonight, you guys. I didn't even know it was going to get like this. And I had already pulled the cards. But again, you guys, stay optimistic. Okay. Let go of control issues. Don't self sabotage, even in the mental space. Okay. Let alone beyond. And what I mean by that is, you guys, again, going back to that left knee, if we wanted to sit in a circle, not even in a circle, I'm just forget the circle, right? But if we wanted to sit together at the same time, it's how people do these mass prayers, right? The power of belief and the strength in numbers of the believability of the belief. You get where I'm going with this, right? Still speaking in code for great reason as well. Okay, it's a live stream, but just saying, you guys, you deserve love, and this person is coming in very soon. So please don't give up now. Your daughter is going to be with you very soon. So please don't give up now. Okay. Couple cards of healing energy for you. Well, three to be exact. There's that number again. Divine message. Even though it's another pile, makes sense. Okay. All of the messages here are divine, but I'm just picking up on the synchronicities. So the first of these three indicates shining light. Okay, and there's that gratitude energy coming out the gate next. All right, as well as vitality. And long story short, this is kind of repeating what I already got through the channelings. Like I don't need the cards anymore, you guys. It's so interesting, so weird. And you guys, you, regardless of resonating with pile number one or two tonight, may actually have been experiencing a whole host of ascension symptoms. It's kind of more to it than that because it's almost like ascension symptoms is one thing, but then when you start having realizations about aspects of self and abilities, that's kind of another. And so, give yourselves grace. Don't put the pressure on to understand everything all at once. Just same deal with putting pressure on to have knowledge about all things all at once. Um, you know, be mindful. It's like, okay, diamonds do take a lot of pressure, so you can't get around the pressure perhaps. But do you have to have all of the facets carved into you overnight kind of thing? Like, slow down is kind of what I want to say, but also give yourselves grace, all right? Because somebody is like, man, you just don't want to end up in some form of spiritual psychosis trying to learn everything all at once, right? This is kind of making me think of the sentiment behind Dune. Not now, I didn't see the old like '80s movie version, like the original. Um, I only saw the one with Timothy Chalamet and Zendaya, right? Um, and I'm excited, sort of bittersweet, for the newer, like the part the newest part that will be coming around the corner. But if you guys recall in at least the Timothy Chalamet one, where his character Paul was basically like put in rooms or caves or some shit and watching like film strip after film strip of like the freemen and the way that the desert life and their steel suits and these are the reasons behind and their fighting styles and it was a lot of intel. It's like if you would sit there and watch Gaia 24/7. You're just glued to the, or what's the other one? Something aliens, and you're just sifting through all these conspiracy theories and just, film strip after film strip or video after video. You're gonna burn out. It's like, yeah, it's great intel. Yeah, that's phenomenal information. Wow, that's fascinating. And that also checks out, even though they're saying it's a conspiracy. But, and because you still need to make sure that you understand, wait a minute, I've got to actually take care of me, right? Like how I know I can't be on a live stream for 17 hours, right? Like, I'd have to take care of me. I can't just give out free tarot readings and then, like, what, expect me to just, like, still be okay in my own existence after 17 hours of not taking care of myself, not using the restroom, not brushing my teeth, not laying down, like, make it make sense, you guys, right? You get the sentiment there. So there could be some significance to being a practitioner here. Those resonating with pile number 2 tonight, doesn't have to be the case, as well as sharp angular features about the face, white clothing. Somebody could be you know um, black or African American. Could be some significance to the aesthetic of these particular figures, and as well as the LGBTQ plus community. And there's those hazel eyes. All right, maybe somebody is, part and parcel of the tribe. I had mentioned a few moments ago something connecting to Powell 1. You actually could connect with Powell 1 as well. Doesn't have to be the case, but Powell 1 had somebody from the collective that had the dark features, dark skin, and the light hazel eyes or green eyes. Okay, could be of some significance to Powell 1. Also resonating for you here, Powell number 2, collective member. Doesn't have to be the case. And we've got piercings in black clothing that tracks, right? Somebody could have short hair. Somebody could wear Chucks, Converse, as some iconic aspect to their gear or to their daily look. Somebody could have a tooth gap, okay? And there's that white American card. Okay, I can say it because I'm mulatto, so don't come for me. Um, I'm too mixed to be racist, which also means I know too much. No, let me stop. But anyways, short hair coming out. There's that blondie. All right, somebody's bald. Okay, okay, all right. And somebody, so we had the hazel and the green eyes come out. That's pretty funny. And somebody could wear a lot of makeup. Maybe you're supposed to, if that makes sense. Not coming for you. I know the card says, quote, exaggerated features, but really, the most exaggerated feature about that face, honey, is the makeup. And there could be some significance to that. Maybe you're on stage. Maybe you just like to paint it up, honey. No tea, no shade. All right, do you, as long as you're happy and healthy, right? And inside of balance, okay? So if you're going to paint the face up, probably not for the bed sheets. Makes sense? There's that balance. Just trying to use something lighthearted, you guys, to keep our brains stimulated about one of those last examples. And I really want you guys to get it, and I want you to get it easily. Hopefully I'm making sense, even in this late hour. Dark skin coming out, as well as the girls, as it were. Okay, maybe somebody's got some big bazooms. All right, doesn't have to be the case. And again, whether guy, girl, what have you, okay? No tea, no shade, just saying. With this vitality, I am a being of light. I accept the divine energy in my body, and every one of my cells regenerates. Boy, oh boy, that's a really good affirmation. Actually, it's pretty high vibes, too. I don't really have any complaints about that one. Shining light, my desire to improve myself transforms fear into strength. I raise my thoughts above doubt and find faith in the goodness of the universe. I love and accept myself as a soul, and I discover the light that dwells in me. So, again, heavy significance to this esoteric, cosmic stuff. You could very easily have resonated with both Pals Tonight Collective. Doesn't have to be the case, but I am really seeing the theme now. I didn't see the theme so much in the beginning whenever I was pulling the cards in the pre-meditative session before I came on the live stream. So this is kind of interesting for me to see on the back end. Things are different now. The energy is pulled in different ways now. This too could, and maybe more aptly stated, should pass as well. But bear with me because, I'm getting the message right? I'm confident in the message, but it is different. And I feel like I should talk about it in case others are, looking for that kind of confirmation. Like it's not just you noticing some of these things, right? You may notice time glitches on the clocks lately as well, and not for being out of sync, but for your own awareness catching it. Exactly. Release with love, man. Put love in everything you do. We talk about self-love, um, and really it's not in the realm of selfishness. We talk about self-love on this channel so much because it is so important to love yourself so much, collective, that the other people, and there should be many, I get that, right, that you love are loved out of your overflow. That is the most highest vibrational, purest ways to really operate in that frequency. And by frequency, I mean love, okay? Um, it's very important to know that everyone should be loved out of your overflow, okay? Because if not, how could you ever have overflow? You'd be too busy bleeding out. And that's why, a lot of people have been burnt out in former moon cycles, just trying to love and just trying to be a good person. You got to make sure you are loving and being a good person out of the energy of overflow, which means you got to start pouring into you so much more. All right. It's not selfish. It's love in the right way, outside of the realm of half-assery, right? Love and light, Rosella. So Gemini is coming out in significance, you guys, for pile number 2. We're just going to wrap it up, and then I'm going to ring the bell for the final call, you guys. If I haven't already done so, maybe I did. Libra is coming out. I don't know why this is slow tonight. Nobody wants to step up to the plate as far as the chart placements. Virgo and Taurus. Cancer. All right, anything else, Spirit, for pile number 2, chart placements? I gotta start digging around through some of my decks to get the some of my go-tos, because they're still a bit misplaced. Forgive me. We've got Aries and Pisces and Scorpio at the bottom of the deck, you guys. That's all I have for you for pile number 2. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I have not forgotten about the rest of the free tarot. I just wanted to make sure I said, much love and light to you all. For those that maybe were hopping off that had already been served their free tarot message tonight, thank you guys for being amazing. Thank you for coming on and hanging out with me and hanging out with the rest of our family, our friends, and especially on a Saturday night, okay? Thank you for those that will check out the uploaded content. Be mindful, you guys, every freaking message on here is timeless, unless I said otherwise, which never probably happened, okay? So that means if you're ever looking for a message and you're, oh man, I wish there was a new upload, maybe there's not, right? Go ahead and watch a message that already exists for you on this channel. I dare you. All right, they're all timeless. Okay. Oh, thank you, Fiona, for the amazing work. Everyone be nice to Fiona. She's so helpful. And I really appreciate all of our moderators. I think I'm only mentioning Fiona right now because right now in real time, I believe we just have the one on here. But thank you to all of our moderators. And thank you so much, Fiona, for the amazing job you always consistently do. And you definitely keep me inspired just to, continue to show up. That's what we're doing when we get on these live streams. We continue to show up, and we advance and we progress, and there's no problem in that. I love that for us, and we deserve to experience that much. But thank you, Fiona, for being a shining example of showing up and showing out. It keeps me jazzed up too, and you guys, you keep me going. All right, this whole thing does not work at all without you, and it never should. Okay, it was never meant to. So thank you for showing up, and you ask your questions, and you understand that maybe we do have to have some of those harder talks or longer talks, because we're all learning and growing. And so as we do that, we are always inspiring someone else, and we are always, whether in a very direct or indirect way, assisting someone else in the collective. When we do this work, when we continue to show up, when we try again, when we dust our shoulders off, when we straighten our hat or our crown, right? So keep going, you guys are freaking amazing. All right, I just wanted to get that out of the way before you guys started dropping off. All right, let me get into the rest of the messages and get you on out of here. All right, I appreciate you all. Much love and light. Love and light, Aid Pink. Where you been? Who else is in here? You're very welcome, Soulfire. Um, okay, here, user. Okay, here, Rosella. Okay. Okay. So, let me just get. Ooh, ooh. All right. So here's the Citrosella. What I'm getting for Sunny is, long story short, yes. Okay. It's interesting that this yes comes in the form of a Queen of Cups. Because the Queen of Cups is often envied a bit by the other queens because not only of her connection to divine, right, divinity, but you know, the psychic awareness, okay, to some degree, that inner knowing, right, heightened aspect of intuition. You could be mirroring Sunny's energy a little bit. The reason why I say that is because though it's a yes as far as him spending more time with you, I do see in the cards the need for balance. Okay, now for Sunny, this could be connecting to the home space. The reason why I say that is because the Four of Wands is actually in the reverse, in spite of me, you know, cleansing and shuffling the deck. All right, the Four of Wands was found in the reverse. Okay, and I gather rightfully so, because just off of the cuff with the Two of Wands, I intuitively got the hit that there is need for balance. Okay, I think that Sunny in current energies, and this too shall pass, has some very valid reasoning for not really being so forwardly focused with you right now. I think that he is really, or they, excuse me, are looking to, you know, feel grounded and feel safe with self again, within self, perhaps within that home, before they could ever really kind of pick up the ball where they kind of left it with you. I hope that makes sense, Rosella. And to be clear, I'm not giving Sunny an excuse to not be present in your life. And so I just want to lastly leave you with, hey, Rosella, make sure you are still every day showing up for you, doing the things that make you smile. If and when you should wonder over and over again about, will Sunny spend more time? Will Sunny think about you? Will Sunny do these things? You need to really kind of figure out other ways to kind of get through some of that energy. And what I mean by that is, you know, can you instead go for a walk instead of, when you realize that, uh-oh, I've been sitting here for the last 7 minutes staring at the wall, and really inside of myself, in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, what if Sunny this? When will Sunny that? You know, get up, go for a walk, okay? Or create something, you know, do something that allows you to get back to center. And as you do that, you're going to see Sunny faster. You're going to experience a more pleasant conversation with Sunny more often, as long as you continue to focus back towards center first. And that's really part and parcel of walking that walk, you guys, where you love yourself so much that, you know, somebody like a Sunny comes along, okay, cool. But Sunny's getting loved by me, who loves so hard and so purely, out of my overflow. Because if not, could be setting yourself up for a little bit of a failure here, Rosella, which goes like, Sunny's now placed on a pedestal that Sunny didn't even necessarily ask to be placed on, nor should be. And Rosella is extremely disappointed because is met with an unrequited lover situation. Just saying, I don't want that for you. Okay, whether this is involving Sunny or not. Okay, and so I just make mention of that. Hopefully that makes sense, babe. Well, the night, James. You're very welcome, user. You're very welcome, babe. All right, now let me see here. Um, okay, so you guys can put your questions in now if you do have one, because if not, we're gonna hop off. I really do appreciate you hopping in here, you guys. And I'm not unlike, really just now hopped on. We've been on here for almost 2 hours, and with the hour that I know it is for me, as well as what I got going on in my next steps, I do want us to get off here and rest a bit. So, if you do have, great need and you're still eligible for the freebie, go on ahead and get your question in, babe, because we're hopping off here. All right, we're going to go rest and manifest more goodies for tomorrow and the day after, right? And rest is just as important as that manifestation. Often, rest is part and parcel of the creation process of whatever you're looking to manifest. And it makes sense, you guys, because how could you manifest which goes like, okay, I'm so grateful because it exists for me, or I'm so grateful because I know that I haven't given up on love, right? It definitely correlates with the fact that I do have love and that I am love, and yada yada yada. But then you take the believability out. It's like it's not gonna work. Okay. So it makes sense that when you rest, okay, you are actioning out. Oh, there's that word again. I believe. I have received. Because if you ask me for a glass of water and I hand you a glass of water, right, and you're standing there with it in your hand and you're still asking for the glass of water, that's going to be weird, right? Don't do that referable to manifestation. Don't do that referable to prayer. Don't do that referable to meditation. Which is it? Okay? Because the universe, okay, as it were, the spiritual laws and principles that are at play here, and they're very much at play whether you want to admit them or understand them or study them or not, okay? Um, it's really black and white. It's like, which is it? There's no room for sarcasm. There's no room for, I didn't really mean it. Like, I was joking. I didn't really mean, like, right? So get serious with this. And by serious, I simultaneously mean intentional, okay? The more clarity you have about who you are, what you want, the easier this is going to be. I said easier because I can't sit here and say it'll be easy. It makes sense. We talk all the time. This shit is not for the faint at heart. That's why you're such a badass. That's why you're still standing. All right. You probably get John Wick references in your freaking tarot messages left and right. Makes sense. Okay. I can read your energy. I know that much. John Wick energy tracks. It's giving. Spiritual badass. Someone, something not to be fucked with. Okay? Unfuckable. And so you better act like it, you better know it, you better live like it, and you better love like it too. And again, out of that overflow, after you have done you first. You know what I'm saying? All right? Okay, let's see here about this male concierge. This male concierge, I don't know if they're like a playboy. I don't know if they are entitled. I don't know if they are messy. I don't know if they are wishy-washy or if they are all of those things. But you are being advised not to go that route because it won't behoove you very well. You're being advised to figure out what else you might want to experience. Because if your guides have any say in it, you're going to be rejected so that you are protected from that path. Chills on that. Straight facts. Okay. So I don't even want to get into any more of that. And I'm talking about energy. Like, I'm not judging. I'm just saying, like, I don't know how to make. And you know what? I apologize. I'm a little tired, right? But so I don't mean to come across like, oh my gosh. But at the same time, energy is not lying, and it was very clear. Um, hold on 1 second, babe. if you just hold on a little bit more and do a little bit more work here, and by work I mean like figuring out more about yourself and paying attention to yourself more in different ways. Like, how do you look from this angle, right? That kind of stuff too. But also, like, what do you think about these things? And why do you think that? And if you were in this romantic connection faced with these things, like, there's some aspect of like growth here that on the other side, you know, of you like kind of bouncing out and being ready for is definitely coming in, and it ends well. Okay, this could be somebody with money, status. All right, doesn't have to be the case, but this is somebody that's not going to put you and keep you in your head about where you stand, right? Do you love me? How about now, right? Like, you constantly checking, you know, being in this fight or flight fear space and calling it love, right? That would not be who the divine has for you. And I can't say it enough. That's twice now that the chariot energy has came out. So double confirmation that this is literally a thing for you, right? It's not everybody but you gets love. This is going to be, you're going to feel seen and heard, and you're, you know, this person's going to understand the assignment, as it were, right? And take you seriously. So you better take you serious, okay? And just hold on, but not to that person. Oof, not to that concierge, all right? All right, that's what I have. So I did answer a pink right now, like I just finished. About the male concierge. And then love and light, positive bear. So yeah, so I just finished a pink. We got the exam here. We're gonna see for positive bear. And I don't think I skipped over anyone. One second here. We're gonna use this. I don't know what's going on with that. Oh. Okay. So yes. Now, you're saying, well, you passed the exam well. Okay. Now, I'm not gonna lie here, positive bear. This, okay, this is the happiest card of the deck, right? I get that. And it also means yes, right? But it also talks about clarity, okay? And I know it's like a positive yes. I'm not saying don't take it, right? I clarified, and we got the wish fulfilled Nine of Cups energy come out for you, positive bear, as clarification of the yes. But hear me out. I don't know if you mean to pose the question exactly the way that you do when you say, well, I passed the test well, right? Because if you pass the test, obviously that means it's a passing grade. I don't know if with your placement of the word well at the end of the question, if you mean if it would be easy. I'm getting with this clarity that you could, it's almost like if you're still studying for this test here, positive bear, what you want to do is streamline to your weaker areas. Oh, I know that I know these answers. Well, don't continue to focus on knowing them when you already do. Focus on what you're still a little bit rusty at, perhaps, to keep you strong enough through the test taking process, if that makes sense. If you've already passed this, or if you've already taken this test, you've already passed this test, no need to worry. To be clear, either way, no need to worry, okay? And congratulations. Mm-hmm. So that's what I have. You're very welcome, A Pink, and that's what I have for positive bear. And sorry, Fiona, sometimes the chat for me, it might be like my connectivity, it lags or stagnates, and so yeah, that's not you, it's the connectivity. Okay, you're still studying, so just streamline it, you know, be honest, right? Okay, I know these answers. Quizlet, Quizlet, is an app or at least a website of some significance, perhaps, that you may find subject matter referable to what you're studying in the form of a test on there. Quizlet, I know that helped me on certain subject matters that, you know, maybe was having a hard time finding material, and they'll put it in a quiz form. If you know, like, oh yeah, I always get that question right, then you don't need to study anymore. You don't need to go back to the notes. You know it, you know. Um, so, but congratulations. I don't even want to say good luck because you're already passed. You just got to get to the point of the timeline where you have the tangible evidence. You'll see. And you're very welcome. You love Quizlet too, Fiona. Quizlet is pretty badass, if I do say so myself. Love and light, Jay. Not gonna lie, Jay, I did get that email. I did not get to the point where I was in the proper aspect of the website and the content creator, blah, blah, blah. So I will let you know as soon as I know if my theory checks out about getting you hooked up, you know, with that particular email address. But much love and light, of course. I just wanted to make sure that you at least knew, since I saw you, that I did get it, because I forget what I was doing whenever it came in, and you know what? With the way things have been lately, it's almost like I'm doing great, you guys. I'm doing so amazing. I don't even want to say what I was gonna say because I don't want to be hard on myself, but bear with me. Just, you know, I'm doing my best to maintain consistency, and sometimes when you're maintaining consistency, it can't be as clean as what I maybe would prefer. So I know I definitely dropped the ball in saying, hey, thanks, Jay. But I recall I was doing like 3 things when that came in, and I meant to, but you know, yeah. And I kind of hate to say that too, because one of my peeves is like, don't be that one that's like, oh, I meant to, like, I wanted to do it. 3 days later, it's like, okay, so you're clearly not my lifeline, because if I gotta wait for you to move your ass on anything, you know. So I'm over here taking notes, like, okay, we've got to actually, like, I don't even know. Sometimes I wonder, like, could I even be any more disciplined? Because I feel like I am in some freaking ROTC program at least half the time. Like, speaking of John Wick vibes, right? Just trying to maintain it all. So thank you for those that do send love light. Thank you for those that do help out the channel, okay, and keep your girl going, because whew, can't say it enough. It doesn't work so well without you guys. Love and light, Canupria. Love and light. Okay, let's see here. You did ROTC, Fiona? How badass are you, Fiona? Oh, shoot. I could never, like, well, not to be rude, but I don't think I have the passion to do it. I'd have to have the passion. Like, I have the passion to jujitsu, right? But not so much ROTC. 3 years? That's crazy. Wow, that's pretty neat. So you guys have all these things you can share about yourselves. I appreciate when you do, though. All right, so Canupria. You're talking about Rashab. So Rashab is coming, and apparently to your house. Could be. Not literally, doesn't have to be, but this is very much house vibes with the Four of Wands coming out here, okay? And I'm just getting that. I almost want to say it like this. Be nice to Rashab, because he's... from the point of, like, where he's at to getting to you, and maybe this is only meant in a physical sense, but it could be more than that. It wasn't the easiest of paths. There's effort, but it's worth it, and I feel like Rashab will also feel like it's worth it. But I don't know, somebody wanted you to know, like, it's not necessarily either an easy trip, or you know, circumstances weren't necessarily the easiest to allow for Rashab to actually come to you, but he's coming. All right. You had to take apart M16. That's pressure, Fiona, at its finest, don't you think? Oh man. See me? Like, I would love to, yeah, I definitely, you know, one day I have a bucket list, you guys. I'm gonna check it off. I should watch that movie. Remember that movie, you guys, Bucket List? With oh my god, Anthony Hopkins, and who was the other one? Morgan Freeman. And the what was it? Kelpie Luau. That type of coffee. That was a good movie. It's kind of sad though too. And you're very welcome, Canopy. I'm glad you understand. And you guys, I'm tired, and quite frankly, you guys should be too. All right, I want us all to go rest so that we actually enjoy our day tomorrow, because it's going to be jam packed with a whole host of other to dos and experiences and memories to make. Right? Sharpshooter is no joke, Fiona. That's pretty cool. Sharpshooter. That's like sniper vibes. Like, oh, you see, I read that. No. Oh, here come Fiona. So y'all heard that a moderator is a sharpshooter. I love this. This is getting good. Literally, now I gotta say it because it's just so true. I have the best collective, hands down. All right, all y'all are just so amazing in so many different ways, in so many niche ways, and like extraordinary ways. I love that about us. All right. So again, you guys, please, if you, I mean, I get the idea of being protective. I really do. Like, I am protective over the collective, to the best of my abilities, always and always, as far as I intend, right? But if you can share on here a little something, please share on the community, okay? Because that is still our little something. All right, not that I want to call it little, but you know what I mean. There's crickets over there, so you know, you say something. All right, it's not going to be on TMZ tomorrow. That's okay, right? Right. Got secrets. Fiona's on stealth mode. That's okay. I think everybody has secrets, as it were, because everybody has been taught in a myriad of ways to be protective over their energy, perhaps their possessions, right? Depending on who I'm talking about, right? Our bodies come to mind, right? That's why you guys, self-defense, you know, empower yourself to be in control of your body, as well as, you know, when the need should arise, somebody else's, okay? It could be a lot of fun, and I find it to be definitely a fun outlet. It's interesting, the idea that people should come together in unison to fight. And of course, you know, many of us know that movie Fight Club. That's one of my favorites. So it's interesting, the culture and the community behind that as well. Many healers, you'd be surprised how many healers, like straight healer, like shamans, will kick your ass, like, or could. They won't necessarily, because the point of karate and you know, like jujitsu and the like, is never really like about escalation. It's about you know, maintenance and control and balance, and only escalating if literally it is literally in the moment a life or death situation. You know, um, but you know, I like to talk about it because it took me a process to be able to get there, right? And a process in the sense of mentally. I don't know necessarily spiritually, but damn sure physically, as well. So you guys, just me sharing, not because it's a contest, but in the sense of, see how you can see through some examples of what I can share. All right, I'm only just trying to help, right? To get you and your juices flowing, to figure out what else could you do outside of your comfort zone. Because if y'all thought jujitsu was inside of my comfort zone, right? If y'all thought hitting the mats and flipping somebody else with my hips, my hip dips, was something that was inside of my comfort zone, you got another thing coming, okay? But yet I truly enjoy it. I always look forward to it. Not that it's necessarily the easiest of things to do, but it's very much rewarding, and very much, you know, a tool to have in that proverbial tool belt of empowerment, right? So I really do hope that you guys do something amazing for yourselves tonight. Yes, yes, but tomorrow, you guys, is another self-care Sunday. Not that Sundays are meant for self-care because the rest of the days of the week we're not doing that. No, it's part and parcel of the lifestyle. But just to give you guys some food for thought before you manifest what all you might do and who all you might be in your tomorrow. Okay. Take care of yourselves and take care of yourselves well. All right, because the rest of the world is going to half-ass whatever it does for you and to you, most likely. All right, but it should never be on the menu that you are part and parcel of that same team, which can actually feel like opposition if you're really gonna chuck it down to the root. All right, so take care of you and love you. All right, and again, so much so that everyone else you love is really, it's just a matter of you operating out of that overflow. So you don't hurt yourselves. You've gone through enough and you've hurt enough already. Okay. So thank you for not giving up. Thank you for taking heed. Thank you for changing your lives, your lifestyles, your diets, however it resonates for you. Okay. I'm still speaking to the collective. And I'm speaking to every one of you when I say thank you. It's just for different reasons all at once sometimes. I don't think that made sense, but I meant it. All right. I love you guys so much. Please have a phenomenal night. Please be good to yourselves. I love you. Love and light.